everyone, Big Pauly back for another episode of What's in the Poundland Bin? Oh yes baby, I suppose we better find out. Let's do it.
Poundland bin.
Hello, Poundland bin. You're getting quite dusty. Ooh, dearie me. Should we dust you off? There we go. Are you ready, folks? Okie dokie, here we go. La 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 la. Oh, okie dokie. Oh, and I've got one. And would you believe it? Another sealed one as well. Well, all I know is it doesn't have a slip. Okie dokie, what have we got? Upside down. Oh yes baby, this is a film that I actually really want to see. Their love is out of this world. The space between us. Oh yes. Gary Oldman, Asa Butterfield, Britt Robertson and Carla Gugino, yeah, whatever. Isn't this about the one that is born in space and lives in Mars or lives on Mars or something and then has to come back to Earth? Interplanetary adventure. A space shuttle embarks on the first mission to colonise Mars. Good job it ain't Uranus, isn't it? Only to discover after takeoff that one of the astronauts is pregnant. Oh, well, that was well planned, wasn't it? How long does it take to get to Mars? 9 months? Shortly after landing, she dies from complications. Oh, spoiler on the bloody back! While giving birth to the first human born on the Red Planet. Never revealing who the father is, thus begins the extraordinary life of Gardner Elliott, an inquisitive, highly intelligent boy who reaches the age of 16, having only met 14 people in his very unconventional upbringing. Wow, that sounds good. I wonder how many Martians he's met as well. Okie dokie, let's do it. Okay, so the foil is off. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Oh, very simple design on the old disc. But nice and clean. In we go. It's the space between the Blu-ray player and the amplifier. It's the space between us. Okay, so disc is in, ready to spin. I've got a lovely steaming, boiling hot cup of tea. Oh, lovely. So yes, a lovely hot cup of tea, and I've also got some fruit as well. So no munching on chocolate, just some fruit. So here we go then, let's watch the film. Okay, so the space between us. Between this and The Impossible with Ewan McGregor, I think these are two of the best Poundland pickups that I've actually picked up. Wow, and I think this was £1. This was before we started doing the £2. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed this film. Normally I wouldn't have maybe enjoyed a romantic movie so much. I don't normally go for romantic movies, but this was a love story between two worlds. Basically, the film starts out in this kind of NASA environment, big old room with lots of press, Gary Oldman up on the stage strutting his stuff, giving inspirational speech about this upcoming mission to Mars, and then introducing 6 astronauts that are going to be going off to Mars, starting a whole new world, a whole new civilization up there. Another inspirational speech from one of the lead astronauts. After all the speech stuff's all out of the way, we then go to like mission control, and they launch the rocket into space. Very Apollo 13 and First Man type rocket launch, with the sweeping music, epic music and all that kind of stuff. We get a few space shots. 2 months into the mission, I think it is, the lead astronaut starts to feel sick, and we discover that she's actually pregnant. So the radio it all back to Earth. Gary Oldman, kind of shocked, you know, doesn't know what to do. Should we turn them back, or should we just keep them going to Mars? How will they perceive, you know, how will the public perceive this kind of thing? Get to Mars, and like it says on the back here, she gives birth, but unfortunately dies in childbirth. News gets back to, obviously, to mission control. The film then skips forward 16 years. And then we catch up with Asa Butterfield, who plays Gardner Elliott, who's obviously the offspring of the astronaut. And we learn about him, we learn about, he doesn't like, you know, he's not accepting being cooped up. He wants to know about his mum, he wants to know about his dad, wants to get out, that kind of thing. He's got a Johnny No. 5 type robot that keeps him company up there. And also his whole structure is different, because obviously being carried through space, 0G, and down onto Mars with a different gravity and a different atmosphere, his bone structure is different. So he's kind of lighter, so he kind of like bounds from time to time, and he's also got denser bone structure and an enlarged heart and that kind of thing. He also has a connection with a girl called Tulsa, played by Britt Robertson, back on Earth, high school student. Bit of a rogue, you know, don't give a shit type of character. Kind of a loner as well. They have these two-way conversations, these two-way video conversations. She doesn't know who she's talking. She knows who she's talking to from the video display, but she don't know where she's talking to. Gardner piles on some explanation about, oh, he's ill, he's having an operation, and soon he'll be able to go and meet her. Meanwhile, back on Mars, poor old Gardner, who's slowly putting all these pieces of this puzzle together about his mum and this guy in this photograph who he perceives to be his father. So, and he wants to get to Earth. He wants to go to Earth, and as part of like a PR stunt and a thing that will reboost interest in this space program, they decide to bring Gardner back to Earth. And now back on Earth, Gardner decides to seek out Tulsa at the high school, catch up with her, kind of like introduce himself in the flesh, which kind of like surprises her, you know, that he just turns up out of the blue. And they get out of school and start this adventure across the state to try and find his father that's in the photograph. Apparently they were married by this Indian in this reserve, so they head off to this reserve to try and find out who his father was, where he lived, and that kind of thing. But on the way, they get closer and closer. They develop feelings and a relationship. He's a little bit more forward than she is. True friendship that's eventually turning romantic for both of them. And it's very touching. It's very touching. And obviously, not to give it away towards the end, but there is a couple of kinks. There's a twist that I didn't see coming. I wasn't expecting it, but then there's a second twist which I kind of expected, but I wasn't too sure on. But it was very nice anyway. But the first twist, I didn't expect, and I kind of like kicked me. It's kind of like, what? But yeah, really good. It was a really enjoyable romantic movie. It really was, and I was really impressed with it. I thought I was going to like it because of the whole Mars and space between us and all that kind of thing. Plus, I've heard lots of good things about the film. People have praised it and things like that. So I'm glad I did pick that up. The cast, Asa Butterfield is really good in it. He's really good, and he shines as this desperate kid that wants to get to Earth, you know, because he's lost his mum. He wants to find his father. He'll stop at nothing to actually, you know, to find his father. But he's got all these obstacles on the way, you know. Once he gets to Earth, the gravity is different. He feels heavier. Plus also they discover a little bit later on that being on Earth's atmosphere and gravity is affecting his body, and that he may love Earth, but the Earth doesn't love him back, and that they may have to send him back to Mars. Britt Robinson done a really good job. She was really good, very, very convincing as the love interest. She was a bit of a, like I say, a bit of a rogue, a bit feisty, but she pulled it off really well. Gary Oldman, who played the chief of the space program, really good as well. And Carla Gugino, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's kind of like the mentor to Ace's character. You know, kind of like the mother figure, because, you know, he no longer has his mum. So the cast, yeah, the cast did a really good job. Picture quality on the film was really good. It was really good. Especially the Mars scenes with the beautiful red landscapes. But also the Earth scenes as well, with the oceans and the beaches and the fields, rolling green fields and that kind of thing. The sound was really good. It's DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, which upscaled to Neuro on my system. But there was a lot of sound. The dialogue was crisp, nice and crisp and clear. There's a lot of bass in like the launch sequences of the ship, the rocket. So a lot of use of the surrounds with the flames and the crackles and all that kind of stuff. It would have been nice to have it actually if this had been maybe an Atmos soundtrack, because you could have heard the rockets going right up over your top of your head. But it did a really good job. Did a really good job. Unfortunately, there's no extras at all. At all. I would have liked to have seen a few extras, but for a quid, it doesn't really matter, because it's a good film. It's a really good film. So how would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to give it a 7. I really did enjoy this film. A romantic movie. I'm not a romantic movie type of person, but this type of thing, in a way, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Titanic with Jack and Rose. But yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. Okay, so yes, The Space Between Us. Really enjoyed this film. What are we going to do with it? Is it going up on the shelf, or is it going to go down in the recycling? Let's find out. Well, as you can see, the recycling bin is getting a little bit full, but there is still space around the sides. But is this going in the recycling bin? Not on your Nelly. Not on your Nelly. No, I really enjoyed that film. That is definitely going to be a keeper. As I said, very surprised by this week's. Thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. Didn't get bored. It was 2 hours long. Just a great romantic movie. And pulled a little bit at the heartstrings as well. So I hope you enjoyed this week's What's in the Poundland bin. We shall definitely do it again next week. Oh, we're getting some good titles now. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like the video by giving it a thumbs up. Share and comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video. Goodbye.